Mr. America drives his car. The winds surround us. Waves of heat and cold wash us. We walk on mud and sand and rock, tripping on the low growth the spring makes, the shudder, the snap. Trip-trap, all fall down. You start, for instance, losing things. Tools, keys, glasses. You go a little batty, losing things all the time. Indecision sets in. You remember other things you've lost. You see what a loser you are. The underlying warp, the spine shaken into bits and snippets by storm beasts come up from the Gulf. Antibodies nibbling our cell walls, ready to eat our tongues, break our ears apart, and gorge on the mess inside. Willpower, says the rug merchant. The house of belief we enter at will, says James. Like stepping off the fatal edge of that Algerian suicide's tightrope, willing the world to be whatever you imagine or let be or happen to miss. Playing with beads, the sorcerer's game, back to rattles. Old Mr. Bullsnake sitting on a log, pulling ticks off an old blind dog. Juniper crickets, don't the sun get tired, hanging around while the bitch gets sired? It wasn't always like this, these shapes and colors coming through the wall. Nonsensical times machines galloping bare-teethed down the microscopic hall. So much happening, so much registered, so many improbable contradictory truths that any singling out of particulars, any taking of sides is simplification, reduction, artificial privilege, illegitimate assumption of primacy, mere grammatical stance by one befuddled. Why do you think they call it hope? Who is this lonely devil groveling beneath his sins? Liar, braggart, coward, cheat, con man, jack-off, traitor, thief, rapist, glutton, beast, abuser, two-timer, hypocrite, stuffed shirt, phony, fake, three-time bad loser, miserable failure, blind fool, clown, thing, toy. Lady, I'm so tired of games. Death's got me by the throat already, and you too, I suspect. Well, the board said tilt, and I was out of nickels, so I went to the bar to eat a few pickles. But my head got stuck in that pickle jar, so I walked outside, but not very far, when the man comes up and says to me, "Do you have any proof of identity?" Well, I was sick and turning green, and that man in uniform was looking mean, so I shook my head, but that pickle jar broke, and the man got wet, and I about choked, but he was shaking his head, and nothing else cracked. So I looked right at him, and he looked right at me back, and I said, "Say, would you believe what just happened to me?" And he said, "Brother, I believe, I believe." Mr. America drives his car, but doesn't drive it very far, doesn't reach the nearest star with his kite string, key, and jar. Ms. America's a whiz at getting hers and taking his, but once she's done with having kids, doesn't know who she is. Sis America learns to stand twisting to the latest band, likes to get her skin well tanned, counts her blessings with one plump hand. Kid America lays his head on a plastic waterbed, beats his beast before he's fed, thinks of death before he's dead.